Hi, I'm April Roberts, the host of the Vixen Voice. I decided to start this podcast about a year ago, so it's been a labor of love for a year. In that time, I sold a business, launched a new business, but all the while I was dreaming of this podcast. And here's why. My journey to start the Vixen Gathering has introduced me to so many amazing women, and I wanted to find a way that I could share their story. I believe we're all here on earth for some purpose, and we are made exactly how we are, perfectly imperfect, to accomplish that purpose. The problem is, many of us grew up with our parents and other people's values, set of boundaries, goals, belief systems. And I believe that over our lifetime, we start to develop our own. I'm sitting here 47, and I can say probably this hit home for me in my late 30s. It was a journey before that, but I really love talking, especially to Gen X female entrepreneurs, because we're at that point in life where all of this information is coalescing. We're starting to learn who we really are and what we really want. And so I love celebrating these courageous women who have stepped out, followed their heart, followed the path to their deepest desires. And what I hope for you, our listeners, is if you're on the same journey, that you find a cheerleader in our episodes, that you find an accountability partner, that maybe you find someone to kind of give you a little kick when you need it, and also that you find that you're not alone and you're not insane. Because I will share with you, as a woman entrepreneur, many times we might question these things. It really can be a lonely endeavor that many people really don't get. Sometimes not even your significant other or people closest to you. So I invite you, tune in. We'll be sharing with you stories twice a week. Sometimes I'll be interviewing women. Sometimes I'll be sharing with you some of my coaching tips that I do with my one-on-one entrepreneurial clients. I also have small group coaching, and I have a mastermind. And what I see is women really blossom during these times because they do get cheerleaders, they do get accountability partners, they do get a good kick in the butt when they need, but most of all, they find women that are on a journey just like them, and they understand it's okay not to do it perfectly because none of us are doing it perfectly. If you are not an entrepreneurial woman, welcome. I'm happy you're here. Many of the concepts we talk about are incredibly important to living a fulfilled life. For me, it's become so important to live a lifetime of joy. In fact, as you get to know me, you will know that joy has its own color on my calendar. In fact, it's pink. Can you guess? Look behind me and at my shirt, right? So you'll pick up little tips like that, and it's often just little tips and little hacks that can make such a huge difference in our life. In fact, you'll see in one of the episodes how I talk about when my best friend became a stay-at-home mom and I owned 3 companies at the same time. Our lives looked eerily familiar. We both had to learn boundaries. We both had to learn time management. We both had to learn how to make time for ourselves and love ourselves. These are all core tenets of the Vixen Gathering. And here on the Vixen Voice, I hope that we share them with you through the journeys of other women. So I hope that no matter what you're doing in life, you find inspiration to really go for something you want. We would love to hear from you. Please comment anytime below here in the podcast or follow us at Vixen Gathering on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I mean, I'm just driven by hearing your story. So we would love to hear from you. Another reason I'm doing this podcast is because in the past I've had many mentors and coaches, and a lot of times these relationships, if they're healthy, right, are a give and take. So you think that you're always receiving as the student, but sometimes you're giving. And so interestingly enough, I know that that's what happens with my clients as well. They give and I give. And so I love to highlight them here on this podcast so that when they're giving, they can share with all of you. And also they're here to share their story and be highlighted. That's incredibly important to me, that this is a win-win scenario. that you, our audience, wins, that the guest wins. And I always enjoy it because really my favorite thing to do is have deep conversations with successful, driven women. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. You'll hear from all kinds of women on all kinds of paths, from a high priestess to a friend of mine who started a company placing virtual assistants. So I promise that each one we try to touch on one of our tenets of the Vixen Gathering. So our 5 core tenets are time and energy management. I always throw energy in there because that's so important. Second is personal core values. Who are you? What do you want? And what do you love? The third one is owning your worth. This is maybe my favorite, right? Are you getting paid enough? And have you raised your money mindset? Our fourth tenet is boundaries and self-love. I think the two go hand in hand. And I think that all of us need help setting better boundaries and loving ourselves more. And then the fifth tenet is for those of you who do have a company, and that's setting a compelling mission purpose for your company that you feel aligned with. If you don't own a company, what I challenge you to do is set a compelling vision or purpose for your life that you feel aligned with. I really believe that women often are the foundation of their homes. If you own a business, you're definitely the foundation of your business. If you work in a team, you're probably a foundation of the team and foundations of most of our communities. So it's become, unpopular to take care of yourself, maybe selfish, but I really think if you're the foundation and the foundation is cracked, you know what happens to the rest of the building, the home, the community, etc. So what I urge you is I hope you hear some tips and some hacks to really love on yourself, take care of yourself, and by doing so, show up better in the world. I think that the world needs a lot more love. That is the mission and the purpose of the Vixen Gathering, and we are doing it by impacting amazing women like you. So I invite you to join us each week, connect with us on social media, share your story. Who knows, you might be my next guest. Anyway, I can't wait to hear from all of you. I can't wait to take this journey with you. I hope that you have an amazing day, an awesome week, and a phenomenal life. Talk to you soon.